Good morning, Jean-Paul.
Good morning, Nick. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for my slight delay. It's not because of IOSCO of the Belgian financial supervisor. It's in fact due to the Belgian presidency of the EU. And I presume that's the case, Nick, for other speakers today. So if I'm a little bit late, it means that we are making progress about many draft regulation and directive, which is a good thing for the CMU and for the EU generally speaking. But anyway, it means also that I still have the pleasure to discuss with you and all the participants to your well-known FinTech conference. And frankly speaking, Nick, it's always a pleasure and an honor for me to open today's conference in my capacity this morning as the IOSCO board chair. Maybe one comment about IOSCO. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, by way of background, IOSCO stands as the international standard-setting body for the regulation of securities market. And of course, when we speak about crypto, about DeFi, I think that it's not exaggerated to say that IOSCO is deeply involved in the standard setting and more generally in the work stream related to this new world, I would say. So it means that as the international standard setting body for the regulation of securities market, that we take pride in our role of developing, not only developing, publishing papers, standards, but also implementing and promoting adherence to globally acknowledged standards for capital market. And as a truly global membership organization of financial supervisor, IOSCO unite over, yes, ladies and gentlemen, 130 jurisdictions, regulating a staggering 95% of financial market all around the world. So today, I would like, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to speak about a recently finalized recommendation for the regulation of crypto assets and for decentralized finance. But I will also outline, which is also very important for me, especially for our agenda this year in 2024, I would like also to outline the priorities for the coming years to ensure the implementation, that's the next step, of our recommendation for crypto. And of course, last but not least, I will also say a few words about our plans pertaining to artificial intelligence. But let us start with, of course, CDA, crypto asset. So given the cross-border dynamic of cryptocurrency market, the risk of regulatory arbitrage and the substantial fee posed by retail investor to retail investors, a primary goal has been to foster a greater consistency among IOSCO members. We are indeed a global membership organization. All work in parallel to work by the FSB, no competition between us. We have a strong partnership also about NDFI, as you know, about liquidity tools, liquidity management tool for open-ended funds with an excellent outreach and paper published together last year, and we are now working together on leverage. The same, I would say, for other aspects, and this is also the case for crypto asset, no overlapping, for sure, no competition. So it means that what we are doing is clearly part of our DNA. It means that our work in parallel to work by the FSB fitted into the international regulated framework for crypto asset envisaged by the G20. What does it mean? I would say a fact-finding approach means that at the end of November last year, we published our 16 recommendation tailored for crypto assets with a view to safeguard investor and market integrity. This recommendation, ladies and gentlemen, are underpinned by the principle of same activities, same risk, same regulatory outcomes. And despite, I would say, the advancement in DLT within financial technology, we observe that the promised decentralization and desegmentation within the crypto asset ecosystem have failed to materialize in practice. Similarly, our comprehensive report attests that crypto asset activities are indeed comparable to activities observed in traditional financial market with associated risk familiar to all members. Let us be clear, not necessarily a revolution for asset manager, people in charge of managing trading venue, because what we are proposing to implement is something which is part of the toolkit for the supervisor, for asset manager, hedge fund trading venue, most of the time for more than 20 years. And what does it mean? It means how to avoid a conflict of interest, how to avoid market manipulation, insider trading. Very important as well, how to manage custody of securities, custody of client asset, and cyber risk. And it's therefore evident that our recommendation for the regulation of crypto and digital asset apply a consistent regulatory approach based on IOSCO existing principle and associated standards for securities market regulation. And this work complements existing tools for cooperation among members of IOSCO that can be applied for cases of investigation and enforcement of crypto asset fraud. This is absolutely instrumental if we want to be successful at international level. Third comment, if I may, what about DeFi? We also published a set of recommendation for regulating DeFi at the end of December 2023. That was my personal objective when I had the pleasure and the honor to be elected by all members of IOSCO in November 2022. One of my key objectives was the speed in order to deliver on both workstream, CDA, and DeFi. Not because per se the speed is an objective, but because we knew that I would say there were many expectations. The fact that we start on time, I would say, no government by accident, the work stream managed by our well-known FinTech task force chaired by my colleague and friend from Singapore, Tuan Lee, it means before the crypto winter, but that we were able to take into account the new development relating to what happens during the crypto winter, which means that we, in both cases, we have updated, we have papers that are clearly updated and ready for use. One comment, if I may, about the DeFi recommendation is, if you try to compare that with the CDA paper, I think it's quite fair to say that the DeFi recommendation are more principle-based and less practice and prescriptive, than the crypto and digital asset recommendation. And their primary focus is on risk identification and monitoring, capacity building, and cooperation. In particular, the report emphasized the importance for regulator to identify the person and entities of DeFi arrangement and to subject this responsible person to the applicable regulatory framework. What does it mean at the end of the day? It means that the DeFi recommendation on the one hand and the crypto recommendation on the other hand are designed to complement each other. And together, they provide a clear and interoperable policy framework and achieve regulatory outcomes consistent with those required in traditional financial market. Another very important aspect of our current activities and priority, it's about, of course, implementation. And I have said many times that global standards are only as good as their implementation. Therefore, we are now committing our attention to support the adoption and implementation of our crypto and digital asset recommendation. So what does it mean? It means that we have agreed a clear and robust roadmap for the next 3 years to leverage IOSCO convened power and global footprint to that end. But we are not the only one international organization. We need each other. So it means that coordination with international organizations, including the FSB, the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force, and of course the IMF, are integral to our effort, and we are working already together. And this collaborative approach is crucial, is instrumental for achieving the right outcomes for investors, addressing regulatory perimeter issue, and tackling of regulatory arbitrage. We also have to acknowledge that jurisdictions are at different stages in tackling the risk presented by crypto asset market. Some jurisdictions have and enforce existing regime applicable to crypto assets, while other jurisdictions must develop new bespoke framework. That's also the advantage of working with our global membership organization like IOSCO. And the development of a sound marketplace is not solely the task of regulator, but let us be clear, a rather joint effort with all the crypto asset market participants. And this provides crypto asset service provider with the opportunity to restore some credibility by bringing activities into alignment and compliance with accepted global standards. Last but not least, what about artificial intelligence? I think that it's important to state the following, and before wrapping up, that what we are doing about artificial intelligence and the work of IOSCO on the matter is also to take into account the rapid development of artificial intelligence technology in the field of financial services and financial market. And this rapid development poses, of course, new form of risk and challenges, a positive agenda, a less positive agenda at both micro and macro levels. And I, as IOSCO board chair, I truly believe that this global phenomenon should be understood and addressed globally, and that IOSCO has a role to play in helping its members when they consider policy responses to the risk posed. With this, dear Nick, ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you for your attention and wish you a very insightful event.
Jean-Paul, a very concise and very interesting speech, as always. Thank you.
Yes, I can, as you know, as I can.
I know.
I can be concise.
No, I know. But I just want to highlight kind of how important IOSCO is in this work globally. And the point you've just mentioned about parameters, bringing different supervisory bodies or international bodies together. Really very fascinating. Thank you so much, Jean-Paul, and good luck with the rest of the
My pleasure.